Welcome to Purdue Federal Credit Union's 2026 annual meeting. I'm John Schneider, the board vice chair, and at this time, I'd like to call this meeting to order. I would like to introduce our board secretary, Janae Beleza. As secretary, Janae's duty will be to determine whether we have a quorum for today's annual meeting. Madam Secretary, do we have a quorum?
Vice Chairman Schneider, yes, we do. We have 33 members present, so we do have a.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Adoption of the agenda is me telling you to read it, all right? You all received an agenda when you came in, and so we'll follow that agenda. The next order of business is to approve the minutes from last year's annual meeting. A copy of the 2025 minutes was provided to each of you as you came in. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes of the 2025 annual meeting?
I'll second.
Okay. Do I hear a second? All right. All those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, please say no. Thank you. The minutes are passed. Purdue's Federal Credit Board of Directors has 9 elected volunteers, each serving 3-year terms. Directors steer the credit union down a strategic path, seeking to enhance the well-being of members and ensure the long-term stability and success of the credit union. Board members, though unpaid, actually we get paid pretty good. We get to eat now and then. Though unpaid, typically spend 6 to 10 hours per month or more preparing for and attending meetings of the board and its various committees. I'm having trouble adjusting to this. I apologize. A typical board member also serves on multiple committees, and the board members enhance their own capabilities and by preparing themselves through annual self-study courses and conference attendance. I'm pleased to introduce to you at this point the 2025 Board of Directors. Edgar Sear is our board chair. I, John Schneider, am your vice chair. Laura Carson is our treasurer. Janae Beleza is our secretary. Joe Balitas is the director, as is Doug Kreider, Rick Davis, David Kish, and Sandeep Rao. Now, on behalf of the nominating committee, I am pleased to introduce our board member candidates. Edgar Sear, who is not here, Laura Carson, and Chris Holford. Since there is but one nominee for each board opening, I, as chairperson of the meeting, declare the nominees elected to the board by acclamation. Congratulations. Now please join me in welcoming Director Laura Carson to deliver the 2025 Treasurer's Report. Laura?
Hello, thank you for joining us this afternoon. There are various metrics that we track as we monitor the strength and performance of the credit union. Total member loans and total assets both are measures of growth and strength. In 2025, loan balances grew $44 million, which is a 5.5% increase. Home equity and home equity lines of credit had the highest percent increase, almost 19% increase year over year. We also saw increases in commercial loans, 20 and 30-year mortgages, and Visa balances. Purdue Federal serviced $2 billion in loans in 2025. The credit union sells a portion of originated loans to the secondary market. We retain loan servicing responsibility so that we remain the member's point of contact. Our mortgage volume was up $149 million. Approximately 35% were sold during the year to provide liquidity needed to meet members' borrowing needs. Total assets grew by $109 million, ending the year at approximately $2.1 billion. We also closely monitor deposits and assets under management. Deposit growth is important because deposits provide the liquidity we need to support members' needs. In 2025, deposits grew by $92 million, which is a 5.4% growth rate. The growth came through our successful high-yield money market offering. We also had growth in certificate of deposit products. Members continue to choose more rate-sensitive products versus maintaining higher savings and checking balances. The Investment Services Department continues to be an important part of our business and is growing. These are assets under management. At the end of 2025, Investment Services was managing $412 million on behalf of our members, which is an increase of nearly 25% from 2024. Much of the growth was through solid investment returns. The growth in the portfolio also included $33.5 million in new investment funds. Purdue Federal and our regulators monitor total capital and net worth ratios. Net worth percentage is the total net worth or equity divided by total assets. It's an indicator of how well the credit union is capitalized. At the end of 2025, our capital position was $226 million, an increase of $16 million year over year. We had a net worth ratio of 10.9%. Our regulator, the National Credit Union Administration, NCUA, deems 7% as well capitalized. Our internal policy for low risk net worth is 9 to 10%, so we ended the year slightly above policy. Net income is a requirement for a healthy and growing financial cooperative. Net income for 2025 was $17.5 million, a $5.5 million increase from prior year. The uptick in net income came from a few areas. We had $7.9 million improvement in our net interest margin. The Federal Reserve cut rates in 2025. Our high-yield money market accounts, which are indexed to market rates, and our CDs, which are rate sensitive, and so our cost of shares decreased accordingly. Non-interest income, like Visa and debit interchange fees, contributed to the operating income increase. Fraud and losses decreased by $400,000 from 2024. This chart also shows return on assets percentage, or ROA. ROA is an indicator of how effectively the credit union utilizes its assets to generate net income. The credit union's ROA for 2025 was 0.85%, up from 0.62% in 2024. The variability in this chart in part reflects changes in market interest rates affecting net interest margins. On this slide, we depict some of the components of other revenues, the largest portion being member fees. First, I want to look at the gains on sale of securities. In 2025, we sold Visa A shares and recognized $2.9 million gain. Credit and debit interchange fees increased $230,000 year over year. This was primarily due to increased debit and credit card sales volume. We also generated third-party fees by servicing those loans that had been sold in the secondary market. The largest portion of other revenue derives from member-paid fees. Member pricing is based on organizational cost and the risk exposure of delivering related services. Member-paid fees for overdrafts and not sufficient funds increased $200,000. Purdue Federal reduced per transaction fees significantly in 2024. We've made an effort to remove any fees considered a junk fee by NCUA or the Consumer Financial Protections Bureau. Unfortunately, this increase in fee revenue comes through increased volume of transactions. Mortgage and commercial loan fees decreased $663,000 from 2024 to 2025. We continue to make an effort to minimize member paid fees. This brings us to the final chart I'll share with you today, fees per member. Callahan and Associates is a credit research and analytics firm. They produce a fees per member calculation. Purdue Federal's average fee per member, depicted in gold, was $24 per member in 2025, up $5 per member from 2024, but has been declining over time. Purdue Federal is a very good value when compared to our peer credit unions, who on average charge $75 per member in 2025 and have been above $70 per member for years. The board of directors and the senior leadership team remain committed to prudent financial management, making sound decisions that support our members while preserving the long-term strength of the credit union. With a solid financial foundation, Purdue Federal Credit Union is well positioned to continue success in 2026 and beyond as we remain a trusted financial partner for our members. Are there any questions?
If there's no questions, do I hear a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
I'll move.
Second? All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
And opposed signify by saying no. Pass.
Thank you. Good
Nice job.
afternoon.
Now it's my pleasure to welcome Sandeep Rao. The board lays down to the supervisor committee to deliver the supervisor committee's chair report. Sandeep?
Thank you. He says it's a pleasure, but when they heard I was talking, they reduced the number of slides to 4. I am the board liaison to the supervisory committee. See, I told you, 4. There were more. You can see the space. So, just to quickly point out, the supervisory committee is an independent committee, and the internal audit, the entire internal audit function reports to it. So, if you look at the members, there are 4 volunteers, and I represent the board as a liaison. Our chair and our secretary were unable to join us today, hence the accent. Supervisory committee duties. Very specifically, I was told not to hit the mic, and I did. It is the charge of the supervisory committee to make sure that the credit union operates properly and reasonably. And it ensures that the board of directors and leadership basically pass their audits well, verify accounts, and determine that the internal controls are sufficient and appropriately maintained. So the priorities, the primary roles are to ensure that the leadership's financial reporting objectives have been met. And to this end, we do get an external auditor. The financial audit was performed by Forvis, and it came back really, really strongly. And that's really the biggest key. They gave an unmodified opinion, which is the best possible outcome. And then we keep an eye on what the NCUA's supervisory priorities are, make sure that the priorities are looked at, maintained, and applied appropriately to the credit union. And that's really mostly about it. If you think that being in the audits and being in the spreadsheets that the auditors have to look at is boring, you would be absolutely right. And it takes a special kind of crazy person to enjoy this stuff. Luckily, we have a good bunch with a very, very diverse set of backgrounds, and all of them bring their own pieces to it. Yes, I saw that look, man. It's true. So that's what we do. That's what we are charged to do. And given the fact that this is the only time I have seen external auditors walk away going, you know what? That was an excellent audit. I've not seen auditors enjoy audits that much. External auditors enjoy audits that much. So yeah, that's us. Any questions? All right, and I did hit my time.
Very nice job.
That was a special handshake to make sure I got it done.
We may not set an all-time speed record, but we'll be close. Are there any questions before I turn this over to Derek Weeks, our President and CEO, and he will deliver the Chief Executive Officer's report? Derek?
All right, thanks, John. Appreciate it. I've got 20 slides. No, I'm just kidding. I really don't. I want to welcome you and thank everybody for attending. Really appreciate you being here. My first year as president and CEO here has been an absolute blur and so much fun. I'm so humbled to be here and to be president and CEO of Purdue Federal. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Bob Falk, our longtime CEO who retired last year in 2025. I've known Bob for years, and more importantly, he and the team did such a phenomenal job in creating my onboarding plan for the organization to integrate into the community. And I'd like to say thank you to the board, to our team, to Bob, who couldn't be here today. I talked to him a few weeks ago, but just for the warm welcome I've got in my time here, started in January last year. And like I said, it's been an absolute blur in a really good way. One of the things I learned a lot of things in my first year here, but one of the things that was clear from day one and remains clear today is what really differentiates this organization is our people. It's the people in this room, from our board to the community to former board members, spouses of board members in our community, that really differentiates this organization. That was loud and clear day one, and again, it remains clear today, which is what really makes me excited about not only what we've accomplished in 2025, which we'll talk about here, but more importantly, where we're going in the future for our members. So let's kind of dig in. As we look back at 2025, I've got two slides here. One is the credit union, and you saw the financials. We've continued to build on an incredibly strong and solid foundation, not only financially, but structurally. You heard Sandeep talk about the audit. Extremely strong foundation that we've got to build on as we look toward the future. We continue to build on that in 25. I love the commitment that our organization has to our members. It permeates throughout the organization. Members that are here, you are our owners, and hopefully you see that each and every day as you interact with us. We serve members with integrity, we serve them with gusto, and we serve them with true intent on helping to be their true financial partner, trusted financial partner for life. We'd like to deal in personalized solutions with our members and really strive each and every day to give our members trusted financial guidance. Our team delivers on that each and every day, and I couldn't be more proud. I'd be remiss if I also didn't recognize one of our outgoing directors. Where is David Kish? David, are you here? Raise your hand. Stand up. He's going to hate me for this later. David, as a director, his last meeting was in March. He's term limited out. David served 12 wonderful years on our board and was recently recognized by our board of directors with what's called our Pyramid Award. And I'm going to read you the qualifications for that. The Pyramid Award recognizes a Purdue Federal Credit Union volunteer who has made an extraordinary contribution to the success of the credit union. It is our highest level of volunteer recognition, and as such is awarded periodically to those who demonstrate an unusual contribution and dedication to PFCU and the credit union movement. Due to these stringent criteria, the award is not presented every year. And I want to attest to you that David has been every bit of that and then some. David welcomed me and my family, much like you all did, into the Purdue Fed family, but more importantly, he's dedicated 12 wonderful years to the organization, and I'd like us to give him a round of applause of a thanks for his time of service. Thank you, David. Appreciate it. I know he's going to hurt me for that later probably, but well deserved. Well deserved. One of the other things that we did, our executive leadership team, our VPs and up, we took some time toward the end of last year and said, what were the top 10 things we got done in 2025? It was really hard to come up with a top 10. There were so many things we listed, and I probably cheated. A couple of these have too, but that was the best way I could get it down to 10. But we got a lot done last year, and here's a list of what we got done. We strengthened our strategic planning efforts. We expanded lending and access for our members to lending. We accelerated our digital transformation. We enhanced our operating efficiency. We elevated our member experience, which, by the way, is at world-class levels and continues to go even higher. So proud of the team for that one. We enhanced our community partnerships. We continue to enhance our culture and the trust that our employees and our members have in us. We advanced our data and how we utilize that data to personalize our member experience. And the board's put in a lot of time on governance and increased governance and strengthen our risk management capabilities. So again, it was really hard to come up with a top 10, but that's the 10 we came up with. And as we look ahead to 2026, there's a few things I want you to keep in mind. One is we spent a lot of time last year and developed a 3-year strategic plan, very comprehensive plan, with a laser focus in 3 main areas. One is to strengthen the value that we provide to you, our member owners. 2 is to continue to expand our presence in the communities that we serve, not only here in Lafayette, West Lafayette, but our expansion market, which is in Northwest Indiana. We've got a few of our team members here today from that market. And then 3 is to continue to build a scalable, future-ready organization. As you look at the competitive landscape that we operate in from a financial services perspective, it's more than I've ever seen in my 30-plus years in this business. That gets me really excited because we've got a great team that can continue to excel in the environment we're in, but we got to be on our game. And I would say as you look at also for 2026 and beyond, we've got that great foundation of success that we talked about earlier and that you've heard various reports on today. We've got great balance sheet, great financial performance, but more importantly, we've got great core values within our organization. We've got a dedicated member service team and support team and leadership team that works each and every day to be our members' trusted financial partner for life. So we get really excited about that and really positions us to drive sustainable long-term growth. I'm going to end my remarks here with a thank you. Thank you to you, our member owners, for being here, for all you do, for the trust that you put in to the credit union. We wouldn't be here without you, and it's our true joy to serve you each and every day. I'm going to ask if there are any questions, and then I'm going to turn it back to John, but any questions that I can answer for the team or the group. Nothing online? All right, nothing online. All right, John, I'm going to turn it back to you. Thank you.
Is there any new business that we as a credit union should be considering at this time? If not, thank you for joining us to celebrate Purdue Federal Credit Union's very successful 2025, looking in for even a better 2026. I now adjourn the business portion of the 26th annual meeting. Thank you very much for attending.